It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I am all out of gum.
How dare you!
Well, hello there guys, and good morning everyone. How are you guys doing? Actually, have been up somewhat early today, and with that, I did all my 6-star round already, and I compared my points, and I discovered that using 6-star champions exclusively, so using every single one of the 6 stars that I have and nothing else, actually can get 13.5 million in a single round of 6 stars. It's kind of neat. It's definitely a couple million more than it used to be since I grinded last. So there we are. Then with up 13.5. And Eric Nelson's coming.
Eric Nelson $5.
Kamehameha. There we go. You're the best. I feel awful now because I haven't added that sound yet. Can one of my mods please... Okay. Here's the thing. Here's what you're gonna do. You can try it. There you go. So I'm gonna add this one for now to my soundboard. Yeah. And with that, I should be able, well, with that I'll definitely know to add it by the time I stream again. But here we go. Backlash Way, what? What's up, Mermaid Man? What's up, Dax Malik? True Potential. Fire Escape Plan, ASC. Good morning to you too. What's up, Simrat? What's up, Pika? Damage. If Quake is added to 6-star and you have it, will you rank for it? Yeah, of course I will. Can get only 8 mil with the 6 stars. Well, it does. I just literally compared the points before I used my very first 6-star in Arena, and I just finished my 6 stars. Turns out 13.5 million is where I get to. Subsimrat, morning Katie mate. Last 2 champs is Act 6. I'm struggling because I don't have the right champs. Yeah, Act 6 is much trickier than Act 7. You do need to have kind of like right champs. But don't rush it. Act 6, you know, again, as I say, Act 6 exploration I think is like the last thing to do in the game pretty much for most players. So is Captain America worth grinding for? Well, I think that Captain America is not worth grinding for most people. I think Captain America is worth grinding for if you're kind of into Alliance Wars. I think Captain America is worth grinding for if you're planning on pushing hard in solo competitive mode. Then probably yes. But as an average summoner, I don't necessarily think that Captain America is a must-have champion at all. I don't think, you know, most of the people will be desperate to have him or will feel that they're missing out much. So the answer there is depends. It depends how you play, what you focus on, what you care about, kind of thing. Hunting for blue humanoid bird who people were waiting who turned out to be mediocre. Blue humanoid bird, you mean the... Which blue humanoid bird? Oh, you mean Falcon. When my friend says he can play with lags, you think he can play with lags? He merely adopted lags. I was born with lags. Oh yeah, I think every MCOC veteran has authority on laggy gameplay. I think every MCOC veteran at this point has, you know, the right to speak about lags. Well, since the side cows have been so bad for me, yeah, side cows have not been good to me at all either. I'm on my 5th pass, 726. I'm doing 726 first. I'm gonna join it 100% 7.2. Might as well get country done first. Fair play. And get it done, Eric. Best of luck to you. Best of luck. I hope it all goes smooth. And as you do 100% of those things, try to enjoy them the best you can. Like, Gwynmaster for me was like the most enjoyable boss. I think Gwynmaster was awesome. If 6-star, I'm into Iron Man Infinity War. Well, you never know. He's a prime candidate for a buff, in my book anyways. So your thoughts on blueberries? I'm not the biggest fan of blueberries. I don't mind them either. I do recall going to forest, actually picking blueberries myself. Those were nice. And I also do recall having blueberries with milk and sugar, kind of like just blueberries with milk. So like, that's quite awesome. But all in all, I'm not the biggest fan. Still prefer the strawberry and a few other berries, but they're quite nice. It's a power back, so help the boost one more. Yeah, the power backs won't be the biggest help on cap. It still ought to be very good for war, though. It still ought to be very good for war. Just so you know. There are at least a couple of paths where he could be one of the MVPs. And his value in war also could raise once Nimrod gets more popular. Because there's a good chance that Nimrod is going to see the Banhammer at some point during war. He can also work as a good alternative. But also, he can bypass stuff like kinetic transference and things like that, which is actually quite rare in the game. Null, a Roman champion. No, Null is not a Roman's champion, but it doesn't matter because you can use those revives, I believe, and heal potions on everyone. Morning, going travel, might be lurking. Well, enjoy your day of travels, Rin.
Shut up and take my
Hope you're well. Look at that, Messiah.
Messiah 66 $1.99. Man dancing, man dancing, man dancing.
I'm actually very, very happy. You don't understand, Eric. You have made me a happy person this morning because Messiah's $2 man dancing does not get to go up top. So I'm very pleased that you snuck in there before Messiah could ruin it. And it was only 3 man dancing, so that's less than usual. So that's another reason to celebrate, I suppose. But hey, thank you, Messiah. When I'm pulled to rank 3, mostly have suicides 99% of the time. He's great counter for map AQ minis. Might be better if I have the TPX. It's kind of up to you. I do think Venompool is good enough. I'm not a fan of Venompool with Suicide Masteries at all. So I'll tell you that much. But if you think you're gonna use him, go for it. Test it out. Because you know, if there are lots of armor buffs to it, then you know he can probably manage his health well enough. Major reason I'm grinding for stealthy. For stealthy is for Blade. Why? What does stealthy has to do with Blade? Explain that. Explain that. So, you didn't read my message fully. Got a 5. I saw that you got a 5-star penny, but I just wanted to comment on the fact that those cows have been still crap. I read that and just didn't read it out loud. Okay. Okay, if I don't read it out loud, you don't need to think that I didn't read it at all. Yossini Noob is the goat of completion guides. You're the second best, but still good. Well, if you're gonna notice the guides that MCOC Noob uploads, those posters and stuff like that, we often kind of collaborate on those. If you pull up any of those posters that he posts for each chapter of Act 7 and stuff like that, for most part, you will be able to see my logo on the top right corner as well. So yeah, MCOC Noob definitely is doing a great job with those guides and stuff. So, you know, all the props to him. Far better than I ever could. Starkey went really low that one. I don't think. How low did Starkey go? Oh, we don't have data, but it's okay. I kind of know the data anyways there. And what did Starkey go for? Okay, let me catch up to that chat. Oh, Starkey, not stealthy. There you go. That's better. I'm something of a strawberry myself. Fair play. Fair play. What's up, Slinger? How are you doing? We took Iron Man here. I don't know. Somebody did. Somebody did. Hey, what's up, Fluffy? How are you doing? Good morning. Hope you're well. Hope you are well. So I only had 3 men this morning. He's cutting down. Aye, exactly. Actually, not a whole man. Poor man. Yeah, Messiah is missing his neck. That's a fact. That's some hard facts right there. Recently got 5-star Ultron. God, he's so funny. Yeah, Ultron is insane. Ultron is so good. One of the MVPs for 7.3 and 7.4, by the way. Depending how much Kabam changed in 7.4, and if there is, you know, not that much of a change, then I can pretty much guarantee that it's well worth ranking up Ultron, because he was an absolute GOAT in 7.4, alongside Kingpin. Was one of the biggest white whales. Or one of the biggest white whales. Well, at least now you got one. At least now you got one. Oh, crap. Stupid crossbones. I don't understand. There's something I really like about crossbones. I can't really put my finger on it, but by all definitions, I shouldn't like him too much. But I like crossbones as a champion a lot. You see, I DM you about Mr. Fantastic Solo 636 Captain America Infinity War. Do you think it was cool? I haven't seen it, but I might check it out. And if it is cool, I might actually make a quick video on it. 47 million now. 47 million is definitely a very reasonable cutoff. Very good. I definitely thought it would be higher than that. It turns out that people are smarter than I think, and they don't care about Starking and Spider-Man as much as I thought they do. That's good to know. There is some hope for humanity after all. There is some hope. Emma on this effing path can... Haha! Oh, don't be nasty. Emma wasn't that bad, was it? User guides and MCOC news for 7.3 exploration, so thank you for the item saved. Well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. It's been my pleasure. I'm glad. I'm genuinely glad. It brings me joy to feel useful to, and helpful to other people. I don't want to go into like full details of it, but due to some mental weaknesses and, you know, I don't want to necessarily go with the mental issues kind of slogan, but basically, due to my mental quirks, it's hard for me to feel happy in general sense, and I have discovered that the easiest way for me to feel good is when I feel helpful and useful, and, you know, when I make other people happier or relieved or whatever. So things like that genuinely do make me feel better, so thank you. Thank you for that. What's up, Devastator? How was the grind? You feel okay? Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Really, for whatever reason, woke up quite early today, so I had time to squeeze in like a full 6-star run before this, and time my points. It turns out that with every single 6-star champion in my roster, I can get 13.5 million, so that's kind of neat. Deep of Synthesis Mixmaster, hit me, I dare you. Armor Assault. So why don't you just quake it? That doesn't sound too bad, to be honest, does it? You do know you can probably just, like, I don't know, Corvus it and shit. Or just use any champion and intercept it. I'd go a bit higher. Yeah, I would go higher than the cutoff always. Those ones kit flow as well. It's easy to play versus heroes. Yeah. That is also the key, that you really want to use him against heroes. And work driving heavy equipment while listening to you talk and rant. Keep your grind up. Well, thank you. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. So, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how much I can get with like all my 5-stars as well. Some Meliodas. Those people, and you can suck it. Ah, shush it. You shush it. Low key, low crossbones. I do like him. I think he's quite awesome, to be honest. I think he's a very good champion. Wasn't a video, it was just an image. At this point, I'm 100% sure that Mr. Fantastic can solo every Act 6 boss. He probably can. Probably can. I'd believe that. Because what we need to keep in mind that our ability to customize champions has increased significantly. Like, every champion can gain so much benefit just because of, you know, Odin and Heimdall and Mr. Fantastic himself and stuff like that. So I would even say that the most useless champions, like, I don't know, if you rank 3 Thor, Jane Foster, or something like that, champion that inherently has pretty much nothing, would likely be able to solo a significant portion of Act 6 boss. You know what I mean? I think that just because of pre-fight abilities and synergies and stuff like that, any champion can solo a very significant portion of Act 6 bosses. Because our ability to customize these champions has increased significantly. And we didn't even need stupid gears for that. Fast attack even for 12. Oh, that's low. That's really low. Okay, nothing is that bad to you. Well, true, I guess. Why does Amazon goddamn diamond get? Oh, poor Eric. Are you getting put through the ringer? Do you want to show us on the doll where Emma touched you? I don't quake? Well, you should. Just making life harder for yourself. So if anyone has mentioned it, but today is 2/22. Oh, that's good. That has mentioned. That has not been mentioned, but that's a very good thing to point out. The 2nd of... Oh. Well, in rest of the modern world, it's 22/02/22. Just saying, it's only like the Americans that put the month in front of. It's primarily Americans. But in like Europe and pretty much everywhere else, the date comes before the month. As it should, because it makes so much more sense. Because you go from smallest unit of measure to the biggest. As you bloody should. You don't say like that will be 25 cents and $89. You know? You should listen to reach the Mandalorian grinds, makes it easy for me. You should listen to me. Been using Sauron a bunch, he's quite good. I have been playing Sauron a bit, not a bunch. I do think that he's alright. I do think that he kind of got condemned a bit too hard. I also do think that he could have been great if they would have been just a bit more generous with the numbers surrounding Sauron. Like the degen duration being only 5 seconds, that's kind of tricky and annoying, you know, extended to like 8 or 10, would be much easier to time it and like upkeep and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think the numbers are kind of screwing him over. Not just the damage numbers, also the ability duration numbers. Palindromes? Well, got to love palindromes. I ain't confessing on nothing. But I do. Yeah, read wrong, he went around 12.2. There you go. Well, I can check it myself. It's 6 out of Odin, but he's unduped. Dupe ability isn't really important, to be honest. Yeah, dupe ability isn't really important. And yeah, he went for 12.2 million. 12.25 million. The Stark Spidey. Once in a lifetime date? Yeah, true. Need to make it special. If you touch me everywhere, if you gave me a doll, I would set it on fire. Seems like somebody has some unresolved issues. Okay, still the only champ who is taken unboosted. Is he? Is he? I don't know, I'm just asking. Because, you know, I've seen a few more people do that, but... I don't know if any of them was boosted or not. If it was, fair play. Currently at 4 million, I think I would be able to reach 12 million. Yeah, if you're currently at 4, I think you can reach 12. Relatively easy. What's up, Kabir Khan? But yeah, no, this date is not a bad luck. How about Captain Wings for Cap? I'm just gonna call him Mr. Wilson. That's it. I don't care what anybody else calls him. I'm gonna call him Mr. Wilson. Turning dates in American format works better than UK format. I don't care. I prefer the logic and reason, not convenience, necessarily. If there's, you know, for me, that is the best rational way how to approach it. I get what you're coming from, but for me, everything seems more appropriate when it's straightforward and logically explained. Smaller, bigger, that's it. No way, I will touch you if you keep trying, all caps. Oh, look at that, I'm threatening poor Eric. What do you think all of the Diablo Venom pull Black Widow? What do you think of that? I don't think about that path, you know, I don't particularly remember that path. I think it was one of the easier ones, to be honest, because it's ungated one, right? I think as long as you have Quake and the immunities that are needed, you should be okay. Because I do think there was quite a lot of like either Incinerate or Shock and stuff like that. But if you can cover all the immunities Kabbalan, you should be fine. And if you carry Quake, then even more so. So I think you're probably good to go. I don't remember it by heart, though. You know, I don't remember every path and every quest by heart. Okay, that is subjective. Not saying you are wrong, but you can hardly equate money for dates. I know. I was just using a silly example. I'm just saying, with the dates, I prefer to go very simple, from smallest to the largest measure of time. And again, as an American, I would never expect you to agree to me. You know what I mean? I expect that to be one of those drive on the right side, drive on the left side issues. Everyone is sick time. Hawkeye used boost. Fair play. I did not watch them videos. What's up, Tatted Titan? How are you doing? How are you doing? They need to put minutes in front of hours. Yeah, that too. That too. But consistency is not the strong suit for them. But except for how I use the power lock boost versus power back boost. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay, fine. You go with Hawkeye. One's better than the other is very CNN of you, trying to force your date agenda. No, I'm not trying to force anyone on anything. That's the difference. I'm just openly saying that's what I believe in, and I'm not reporting, I'm not pretending to be objective news channel, you know. Saber Strife and APOC all require mutant boosts. APOC needs. Okay, here we go.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, look at that. Morning Eddie from JFam.
$13.57.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much.
From JFam.
Well, good morning to you too from KFam. Here you go. Can I refer to myself as KFam? No, that's good. Well, good morning to you regardless. I hope it's a great morning for you. So we have 13, what was it, 1367? Yeah, I think 1367. Here we go. Thank you. There we go. Similar simping for Hawkeye? Yeah, I know. Okay, Eric. That sounds like real messed up stuff there. Hawkeye's too OP? Well, apparently so. And about the Act 6 bosses, it's never about which one is the hardest objectively. It's about which one is the hardest for which particular champion, because all of them kind of require different things. Let's see what I'm gonna start simping for. Yeah, but it was Nagas who saw them. Yeah, it's ungated. It was Incinerate on Venom Pool and nothing else for Dot. I think there was something else for Dot though. I kind of feel that all of those paths pretty much had more than one, but fair play. And Luke Cage is a huge pain in the ass. Well, Luke Cage can be quaked, can't it? What is that reason not to quake Luke Cage? Much lost him. Well, to be honest, Iron Man Infinity War can put up one of the highest damage in the game. That's accurate, if the fight's long enough. Because he effectively can infinitely keep ramping his damage. Or almost infinitely. And then that plasma can grow really huge. He's definitely, let's say, one of the top 10 or 20 highest potential damage dealing champions in the game. As American, I prefer the metric system or what? Yeah, exactly. Metric system just makes so much more sense. Again, that's the way my mind works. Metric system has one or two very, very simple principles, and the way you operate through it is just by moving the comma. Every standard is, 10 or 100 or 1000 or whatever, and it corresponds with appropriate letters, and you can just do pretty much all the math just by moving the commas, and you can do all the conversions. You don't need to do any additional multiplications and stuff like that. So I find metric system, pretty much perfect, beautiful, elegant. And especially when you to go to, from measure of distance to, measure of area, like square meters and stuff like that, or measure of bulk with cubic meters and stuff like that. All of it makes sense. Very easy to follow. Kabam is arguably the hardest active boss. Maybe. Maybe. I know that you're messing, but it's still kind of triggering. It's still kind of triggering, because there are few things I personally dislike more than people trying to basically what they're doing. Picking an agenda, silencing certain opinions and pushing your narratives and twisting the truth, and I dislike really that quality in humans. And when I see an organization that effectively is devoted to that specific thing, filled with humans like that, it just makes my stomach turn. I really dislike that twisting of objective truth to present events only from your point of view. And I can understand why humans do it, and we're all guilty of it, when we're trying to convince somebody of something and stuff like that. But that's the huge difference there, where that kind of dislike comes from, is when you pretend that you're not doing it, when you pretend that I'm just telling you the truth. It's like, yeah, very fucked up version of it. Very selective, fucked up version of it with a specific purpose. I really don't like it. I have never liked it. Part of it is because I recognized it at a very, very, very young age. Because when I was growing up, I grew up in post-Soviet Union Latvia. And, many of our movies still were made in Soviet Union. And our parents talked about what propaganda is very early on. And, I learned to understand a lot about it. And in our schools, right when I was going to school, so that's, let's say, 6-7 years after our country gained independence is when I started going to school, there was this unnatural push towards faith and patriotism, which I, within a couple of years, as like a 10 or 11-year-old kid, recognized as kind of similar propaganda pushing in a completely other direction. You know what I mean? And all my childhood, I was basically thought like this independence is this beautiful thing, and now we are in control of our own country and stuff like that. And I agree, that is great. But at the same time, I kept obviously hearing the news and stuff like that as my mother was watching it, and you could only hear one corruption scandal after another corruption scandal, and something botched up, and then you can hear your parents complaining about shitty government and stuff like that. And then you talk to your grandparents, many of whom say that they, for instance, enjoyed life more in Soviet Union because a lot of things were, simpler and or better, and the quality of life for a lot of our older people was better in times of Soviet Union. And very early on, in like my early teens, I kind of realized that there's always a purpose and or agenda, and it's pretty much always much more gray than that. Like when people that I love and trust said that they preferred living, they said, obviously I like the fact that we're like independent and we can say things what we want, but you know, now it's much harder to get to doctors, it's much more expensive. You know, in Soviet Union we didn't have as many products in the stores, but we could actually buy shit that we wanted and stuff like that. And you know, from their perspective, there are good things with it, but they also kind of exposed me to the things that, you know, nobody in those years when I was being taught about it never explained to me. That from like a basic kind of day-to-day level and quality of life, you know, many of them were better off then. And it was just like a shock to me. It's like, how can you say something like that? You know, you were ruled by tyrants and, you know, there was no freedom. And you know, that automatically makes you think a lot of things. And I had to confront it very, very early on, as I said, because I was exposed to it very early on. And I started disliking these specific twisting of truth kind of things in name of narrative. Silas Centurion, I'm and Finty were both awakened. Silas Centurion for majority of the people. Silas Centurion, definitely. The bones, how are you doing? Anyway, Mr. Fantastic, and also now I have already soloed Mr. Nice, very good. I'm sure that Mr. Fantastic probably is able to. Yes, probably. I think he sounds like a champion that could. Sounds like a champion that could. Hey. No. Yeah, don't worry, Eric. It's just that, yeah, don't get carried away with all caps. It's kind of like a standard internet thing. Don't get too worked up. Calm now? Well, yes, Emma F me up. Solo Grandmaster pretty easily. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Very good, Eric. Don't stress about it. It's all good. Juiced Grandmaster. Yeah, on Juiced, obviously. On Juiced, Grandmaster is the easiest. Pulled Null from Featured. Kind of, but know nothing about him. Rank him up. Well, you should rank him up if you run Liquid Courage Double Edge often. I'll put it like that. I would not recommend ranking up Null for people who don't play Liquid Courage Double Edge ever. That's kind of like the main thing about the champion. You really do want those masteries active. So, be able to get us to having to shift with my left hand when driving. And I always drive manual cars, so it's integrated in me. Shift to the right. You know, that's not just the... That's obviously an issue. But it's not just that. It always, when it comes to which side of the road you drive and stuff like that, it often comes down much more to which one do you think is, you know, better, reasonable, like ideological, not what you're used to. Put personal preference aside. Which one do you think makes more sense? How Devil of the Strange Addiction. Seriously, watch anything that was Iron Man Infinity War in it. Somebody's in love. Hey, we don't king shame here on this channel, but I'm just glad you finally found somebody special for you. Just happy for you, Devil. Just happy. 7th Hawkeye. Reading his comics. Well, I think we could have guessed that. Petition to update Mordo's model with dreadlocks. Does he have dreadlocks? Is that something from the trailer? Again, I haven't seen Doctor Strange trailers. But is this eye so fantastic? No, that is not going to be a fun fight. I don't remember what that node is, but there weren't any really that horrible nodes. The best I remember. I don't remember any nodes that were like huge, massive pain in that. Sorry. So you can see very clearly the propaganda that modern movies and shows push today. Yes. Yes. Oh, I don't even want to start talking about everything's all white. I don't. Things like that, and the fact that here's the thing that astounds me the most, and what a lot of people don't understand. When something like a movie gets made, It isn't a single person. It means somebody came up with an idea and went to somebody else, presented that idea, got approved for it, you know, then it got presented again in some board meeting, and, you know, a group of very influential, wealthy individuals accepted that idea. And then obviously a ton of people got involved. Everybody, you know, who designs graphics, who writes the script, or, you know, kind of decides the storyline of those, what they're going to talk about. And then obviously the stars that they feature. I obviously haven't watched the Everything's All White, and, you know, I kind of want to, but I know I'm going to be absolutely enraged. Anyways, the fact that is the most horrible. It's not that it's a single person's stupid spur of the moment decision. The fact that makes existence of that movie and many other things much more horrible is the fact that it's not a spur of the moment thing. It means that a lot of people have been involved in it. All of them found nothing bad or, you know, morally nothing wrong with creating or doing that. All of them figured it's reasonable or good or great idea and greenlit the project, in which case they involved even more people to market it, to advertise it, to create it, to star in it, of whom everybody that you see in the end finished product and the subtitle, not subtitles, but the end credits, every single one of those people deemed it, you know, something good, something virtuous, something worth doing, something worth making. And they went ahead and did it. That is what I don't get. That is what I don't get. It's kind of like, I remember in my work we had a instruction sticker on a wheelie bin that got me thinking. So wheelie bin, but on the top of the wheelie bin there was like a sticker saying how to open it, like step-by-step instructions. So you approach it from this side, you open it from here. As you are opening a wheelie bin, you need to stand here, and this is how you close it, and stuff like that. And, you know, that is the most fucking moronic thing. If we as a human race can come to a point where we need an instruction in a professional working environment, and we're not teaching toddlers how to open a fucking bin. And toddlers also don't need to be taught how to open a fucking bin, just saying. But, you know, that means that there was some issue, some precedent. Somebody got injured opening a wheelie bin, or something like that. Because that's how these things come about, right? Somebody, oh crap, I'm gonna get so dead. Somebody was injured, was looking for a quick buck, realistically. Was looking to shift the blame and responsibility of their stupidity because they got smacked by a wheelie bin lid or something like that. So then you know, either sued or complained or just basically said it's not my fault that I'm a functioning human being that is unaware how to open a wheelie bin. There was no instructions or something like that. It means that somebody made it an issue, went to somebody in charge, in position of power, in position of authority, in position of wisdom, and he deemed that that stupid person is correct. That there should have been instruction. Which means that you involved a whole shitload of people. You got it basically, because now I think it's like mandated in UK law that, you know, that kind of sticker has to be in there. So that went through the entire governmental apparatus, which means a ton of people who earn shitloads of more money than you or I do had to debate it, discuss it, approve it, hire people to, or delegate that job to somebody. So somebody had to design that sticker, right? Get paid for it. Then those stickers need to be produced and distributed, involving another, like, you know, huge parts of modern industry. And somebody got actually paid, or is right now actually being paid, to put a fucking instruction sticker on a wheelie bin. And not a single one of those people, you know, has stopped to think that this is moronic. And again, you know, those kind of things like baffle me more. Not the fact that, you know, somebody might have thought that it would be a good idea or some, but the fact that this has gone through.
Chalabread $4.99. How's the day, KT?
Hey, what's up,
Hope
Chalabread?
everything is well. Much love.
Thank you very much. And yeah, everything is well. Just trying to grind away, grind hard, and getting distracted with my own stories. So now I need to catch up to the chat, but nice to see you, Chels. Nice to see you. Alright, let me catch up. Mod later. See you later, Q. I run both suicides. There you go. If you run suicides, you will like null. Do you struggle with tier 4 CC? Not in particular. I struggle with... Well, tier 4 CC play a very big role in who I rank up. But I'm not low on tier 4 CC. My problem is the fact that once I rank up one champion, I need to rank up 5 other champions to rank a champion of that class. You know what I mean? That is what I struggle with. I struggle with balancing them out. Like, I have pretty much no tier 5 CC in 3 classes or 4 classes, and then I have tier 5 CC, tier 4 CC in overflow for skill and science right now. That means, you know, I definitely need to rank up skill and science champions, but I really don't feel like ranking up any skill champions. Let's confirm someone to have fetch for Hawkeye, of course. At combo 15, she becomes unblockable when you complete one of her nodes every 10 hits. Which, oh. Yeah, well then, it's not too bad. You can just play against. It's not like it's hard to play against Gwenpool when she's unblockable. She's very heavy friendly. Or you just get hit once, and that's it. Because once you get hit, it goes back to being blockable. But yeah, you see Slinger? You don't know. But it's always a good debate. We drive on the right side of the road. You guys don't know what you're doing, stuff like that. But when you ask somebody, it's like, which one is better or which one, you know, makes more sense when it comes to driving on which side of the road, people don't really know. But that's something that they use as a jab at other country or make fun of and stuff like that. Penny's the only spider character we play. Why? There are some neat spider characters. Why not Spider-Man 99, Spider-Ham, Spider-Gwen? All these anime can rank 3 Mysterio versus Gilly 2099. Already have her as rank 5. As rank 5, also rank 3 stealthy. I'd still say probably right. Here's the thing, if you can, I would wait for solo competitive mode to see how good and useful Mysterio is. Because I do have my suspicion that Mysterio might be really good for solo competitive mode. But, you know, so could Guillotine 99 could be quite decent for it. But overall, even though you have a rank 5 Guillotine 99, I'd still recommend ranking her before Mysterio. Took my Odin to rank 3 today. He's quite funny, more like, yeah, I do think he's quite fun. He's also very, very sturdy and he hits hard. I think he's much better champion than people realize. I think Odin's much better than many people realize. What his wheelie bin? Just a bin on wheels. You know, trash container, call it as you will. Big garbage bin, you know, on wheels. Normally with a lid that needs to be opened, hence the need for instructors, apparently. What's up, Mr. Victor? How are you doing? Welcome. Okay, you guys talk about... I'm just gonna ignore all the comments about Hawkeye and Iron Man Infinity. I'm a bit up until here about you two fanboying that. And then just saying. Trash can be flippy top. Wheelie bin? No, I mean those are typically the big bins. You can't have a flippy top on a big bin. We have been missing out. Screw the metric system. We take wheelie bin. Why not? Why not? Is Kitty worth generic awakening gem? Yes, I used my generic on Kitty. This is my first feature grind, excited to see how far you can go. Well, best of luck to you. I haven't grinded in a really long time, so it's kind of interesting to me as well on what points I can put up. So I can kind of relate a bit. Because this is my first grind in a really long time too. So best of luck to you, David. Best of luck. Do you think that balance 16 Ultron Sentinel to be good? Well, I do think that it makes it a lot more worrisome. You know, I do think that I will personally have a lot more problem getting attached or hyping up Omega Sentinel because of the balancing system. I will personally, you know, have less motivation to grind for her. I'm not saying that I won't, or I know that I will not open any crystals for her because of the balancing system. If I do have the time and the luxury, I might end up grinding for her, but again, because of balancing system, but I'm not sure how likely it is. And I will definitely have a lot harder time to recommend people to try and get her or try and rank her, or, you know, say go get crystals for her and stuff like that. I do think the biggest problem with the balancing system is the doubt. Is there, you know, who knows, maybe Kabam is gonna, you know, release her as a good champion and make her even better eventually, you know. But let's face it, you know, as a company, Kabam doesn't really garner a great reputation or has a lot of goodwill and faith with their client base. That is the last company that should be, you know, demanding that they change their product half a year down the line. So I do find a lot of issue with that, and I'm not gonna be, you know, quiet about it. You feel about taking Ghost rank 3 and Awaken for AW? Do you not have rank 5-star Ghost? Isn't like, here's what I'm gonna say. I mean, maybe for AW, but still, here's what I'm gonna say. I had like a SIG 40 Ghost at the time, and I was doing like 7.2 or 7.1. And especially in that content, every single class disadvantage, Jesus Christ. Especially in that piece of content, you know, 6 stars got extra boost, and I thought, you know, finally I'm gonna get to let my rank 3 6-star Ghost rip. And after the first attempt at the specific path, I swapped out my 6-star rank 3 for max SIG rank 5 5-star, and it went much easier and much better, even with like lower numbers. People underestimate Ghost Awaken ability, and much more often than people realize. That Awaken ability and the high SIG is really, really, really useful. One of the key aspects of why Ghost is as good as she is typically is because you can gain power faster than your opponents can, and you can throw your specials before your opponents can throw special. And now I'm not saying that that is the end of the world and only thing that matters, but what I am saying is that Unduped Ghost, in my personal view, is significant markdown to a duped Ghost. Still a good champion, but there are very, very, very few situations where I would ever even think about using Unduped Ghost rank 3 6-star over maxed out 5-star, for instance. There you go. What is left side of the road in India? Road is road. I have heard that one too, yes. I have heard that in India road is road, and there's not much of a left or right. When it's probably game I'm in next rank 2. Nice. I hope I get Odin soon and I can say the same thing. Hope I get Odin soon. And there you go. What sold Odin to me was that tankiness. Oh yeah, he's very tanky. People do underestimate that tankiness. In India, it's like you have right of way based on size of your vehicle. The bigger car, you know. Exploding Deadpool variant. What the fuck fest? Is it that bad? Is it that bad? I do think those in weight bots were stupid though. Not using 5-star anymore, especially with number of rank 4s popping up. Yeah, well, I think that's much more of a mindset kind of. I can understand where you get coming from, but honestly, I do think that 5-star rank 5 is miles better as champion That's rank 3 unduped. So no, I would say no. I would say if you think about using unduped rank 3 ghost on Alliance War attack, let your teammates handle the ghost fights. Let your teammates, somebody who has a duped and relatively high sig ghost, let them do that fight, you know? There are 10 people in the battle group for a reason. You don't have to be the ghost guy, because you'd be at significant disadvantage. So just let your teammates handle them. It's like fine, you know? And also, just FYI, you can still use 5 stars in attack. Only use Mad of Ghost while running power bug boosts. Yeah, and even then you likely prefer the 5-star one. And why does Omega Sentinel have to be affected by stinging balancing? Leave her alone. Well, it's not just Omega Sentinel, really. It's going to be every new champion from this point forward. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. My ghosts can only SIG 146. I generally don't want to take the 6-star SIG 200. I can understand that, but yeah, with ghost I would take her to SIG 180, probably, you know. If I'm not doing it for prestige, and I'm SIGing a champion up, unless the champion's like Thing, where, you know, you don't need SIG 200. You know, I think it's a very reasonable position to leave those champions, SIG 160, SIG 180. Like, I'm SIGing up Reed Richards right now, and, you know, yeah, I'll probably stop at 160, 180. And that's where I'll call it quits. There are a few champions where you don't want to do that at all, though, like Guardian, you know. Guardian gains more in the last 26 stones than he does in previous like 60 or 70. So with Guardian, you don't have that luxury. It really needs to be kind of case-by-case basis. But with Ghost, yeah, you can easily leave 160, 180, no problem. You can drive in India, you can drive anywhere in the world. Probably. And crossing the road is just different story in India. Never been. Well, I only care about Omega Sentinel, all others not worth your time, but that's the problem, you don't know. Maybe they are. You know what I mean? They're gonna release the next champion. And maybe it's gonna be awesome. Maybe you're really gonna want it. But then you're gonna be afraid because it's gonna get balanced. Or from the other perspective, let's gonna say they release Psylocke Captain Britain version, right? And maybe she's gonna suck. And you don't bother trying to grind for her in any rarity. You don't open a single crystal. And then it turns out that she's amazing. And, you know, you're gonna be upset that you didn't go for it. I just don't understand this whole balancing thing. You know, why? Why is it that important that they have to force it upon us? For real? In India, it's like you raise a hand to your right or left, close your eyes, you're good to go. Every fucking vehicle has to stop for you. I think in this balancing new champ will be short-lived. I hope so. I hope it is. I hope it is. And if there is anything I can do about it at all, I will try to make sure it is short-lived. Because I find it extremely unethical. And, you know, there are a lot of things in this game that are questionable, to say the best. But them trying to force this on us time and time again, is again one of those issues that genuinely frustrate me. Not just for the individual implications, but also for the principle of it. They have tried this multiple times. Multiple times we have very, you know, openly and eloquently explained why not. Why we don't want any of this shit. They keep bringing back. And that's, you know, is another issue in itself. Like, why try and force this on us? Are the benefits of it that important, you know, that significant? Can't you develop your champions with, you know, longer lead times? Can't you create champion and beta test, you know, internally? Why do you have to use entire player base to beta test? Who you rank for if prestige wasn't a factor? Honestly, it might still be Nimrod, to be honest, right now. But I'd look at Kingpin, Moleman, Nick Fury, some of the options. Few more champs. I mean, like, right now is my next rank up, I mean, yeah? Balancing is dumb. Wonder what Kabam smokes come up with that. Well, from their point of view, there is very good reason why they want the balancing to happen. I just think they are downplaying the negatives from it. From their point of view, they want the balancing because then they can alter a finished product in case they screw up. It gives them a safety net. It's simple as that. It's kind of like, imagine if you had to write an essay in a school, but you would have the right to rewrite that essay 3 months later or 2 months later. That means you can write an essay in school, get it graded, get it read, and hear what people think about it. And you have it rated at, I don't know, 6, 7, 5, whatever. And then rewrite it, redo it, and get a better finished product. So you get like a second chance to correct all your mistakes. Whether they're, you know, beneficial to player base or not, but you get the opportunity to be more wild, to have more out there ideas, and you have less consequences. There's obvious reasons why Kabam wants it, you know. But there are obvious reasons why it's wrong and why life doesn't work that way and why people shouldn't be okay with it. Just like, again, you don't buy a laptop and agree that the laptop company has the right to come to your home 6 months later and either add RAM or remove RAM to your laptop based on how well that laptop is reviewed and sells, you know? You don't let any other business do that in any other aspect of life. Ever. But Kabam wants that right. That is like a change. Imagine, you know, you buy a laptop that says this laptop is this good and that good and whatever else. And then, I don't know, your Walmart or Currys or whatever employee comes down to your house 6 months later and says, this laptop selling too good, you know, and we think we're selling it too cheap, so we're gonna take half of your laptop's monitor, or we're gonna take half of your sorry, not monitor, but we're gonna take half of your laptop's RAM or something like that. You wouldn't be okay with that, would you? What's up, Malcolm Scott? How are you doing? My points, Omega Sentinel is the only champ I'm invested in. I understand not invested in other champs, but Omega Sentinel is my one expectation. Not disagreeing with you though. But again, that's the one champion you are invested in right now. That is what I'm trying to say. Nor you or I, Mr. Anonymous Felon, are Nostradamus. You don't know which other champions you will get invested in. And then the issue will remain. What I'm saying is you need to understand the gravitas. This isn't a one-time thing. Which makes it obviously significantly worse. So anyhow, obviously I think it's a horrible idea. I think it's a very horrible idea. For us. I think it's a good idea for Kabam. You know, I think if they get away with it, they're gonna be happy. But I hope that they don't. What's up, Mr. Patil? How are you doing? Balancing is Kabam's version of driving in the left side of the road. Not really. I disagree. I don't think I agree with that. I disagree. But mate, don't go there. The man balance champ that and introduce gear. Yeah, perhaps that could be accurate too. There obviously could be more sinister implications behind it, which, you know, I'd be very easily persuaded for. It's like, because I explained from my point of view why I think Kabam would want balancing system. It does not mean that there are no ulterior motives or more sinister plot or implications. Because again, not necessarily to call Kabam evil, but or anything like that. But we need to understand that Kabam is a company whose primary interest is not us or do good things for us. Their primary interest is to earn money. And if they can earn more money by doing things that are inconvenient or bad for us, and they can get away with it, and that helps them increase their profits, you know, they will. It's not evil, it's not immoral, it's their goal, and, you know, we all know it, we accept it. The goal isn't to make the best game for me, or best game for you, make sure you're super happy. The goal is to make sure that as many people as possible play this game and spend money on it, and as much of it as they can, you know, make it happen. And if they can do things that are in their best interest, but completely go against our interests, you know, they will do them if they can get away with them. If they're called up on it, you know, and there's consequence to that, that again affects their bottom line, that can be changed. They have been trying for years, they seem not to care. No, they care about bottom lines. Because if they didn't care about bottom lines, they wouldn't have abandoned it the first time over. They saw the backlash, and they abandoned it because it affected their bottom line. However, you know, again, worryingly and interestingly, they are more determined than one would expect. And they're more driven, so they're going to try it again. And if they can get away with it, if it is not going to affect their bottom line this time around, they will do it. It's same with Gears. Gears, this is like third time they have been trying Gears in this game. But up until now, not as many Kabam White Knights existed. Up until now, not every major content creator was, you know, bunghole licking CCP. And, you know, every Kabam employee. So they couldn't get away with it. Up until now, there were legitimate reasons why Gears did not come in the game, even though they had tried to implement Gears like 3 times. And one of the biggest reasons was because every single content creator said that it is a shit idea and they don't support it. This time, Kabam's using 2 very persuasive arguments that some people, you know, side with, some people don't. Number 1 is it would delay 7 stars. A lot of people are afraid of 7 stars coming to the game. Number 2 is that, you know, a lot of CCP YouTube members do not necessarily speak in the best interest of the player base anymore either, because they have a very good relationship with Kabam, and they do not want, you know, any goodwill or benefits awarded from CCP to be squandered. Or even if it's subconscious, just because they're all better friends and buddies right now. The fact of the matter is, CCP today is way more pro-Kabam and apologetic on their behalf than they have ever been in the history of this game. And the 7 stars is additional thing. So that is why they seemingly are getting away with Gears this time. And the same thing comes with balancing. If they're going to try and implement balancing this time around, and everybody's going to say no, they're going to push it back. And they're going to try to bring balancing back again 1 year later. But by then, you know, all the community voices are going to say, yeah, I think balancing is a good idea. Or most of the bigger ones anyways. And they can get away with it, and then they're going to do it. Because that's the point, they do care about their bottom line. And they can only, you know, as a good example, do you not think that they would like to sell units for double price and half the amount? Imagine tomorrow an Odin costs $200 for 1,500 units. You know, obviously Kabam would be for it. They'd like it. They'd love it. They'd do it in a heartbeat if they could. double the price of every offer, double or quadruple the value of units. They do it in a heartbeat if they could get away with it. Do they do that, you know, a very significant portion would just uninstall the game immediately. So that is something they can't get away with. So they're not doing it, even though it is something they would very much so like to do and would benefit them and would want to do. So it's always a question of what they can get away with. Operating system company sure does send out updates and upgrades an awful lot, don't they? Yes, they do. They do. And see you later, Devonch. See you later. Can't lie, Katie. This community is extremely weak when it comes to saying no to their game devs. Kind of frustrating. No other player base will stand for half what Kabam do. I agree. I completely agree. And you know why? What's the reason for it? You know what is the reason for it? It's because every other, I'm not gonna say every CCP member, because there are genuinely decent people in there that I personally like and whose opinions I value, but because a significant portion of CCP members are just you know, alternate reality version of grounded wisdom.
$13.57. Put me up there with Chfam, please, kapow.
Thank you very much, JS. JFam. Right, we're gonna put JFam instead. Thank you, that's correct, yes. JFam. I think that's correct. That'll be 27. 4. And that ought to be 2, I think. Whatever. Something like that. And yeah. Thank you very much. And well, up you have gone. The thing is that, yeah, a lot of CCP members is basically just, you know, new age grounded wisdoms. Kabam may do nothing wrong, and everything they do, they have good reason to, and when they mess up, you should be more sensitive towards them, because they are human beings and they can make mistakes, and when they do something that openly hurts you, they had good reasons to, and you are wrong for disliking what they did, because in fact they are geniuses and they know better than you do, because who are you to question the benefits of whatever they have done and stuff like that. That is the new CCP. That plus every other champion is god tier beyond god tier, and you should definitely buy every crystal and rank him up, because look at these awesome things this champion can do. And you know, those are the commandments of CCP for many people. And again, I'm not blanketing everyone in there, you know. Cam and a few other people who are in CCP, I genuinely respect. I listen to them. Hear their opinion. Oh yeah, it's 27, my bad. I forgot to add the 2. Absolutely correct. Not a math error, it's carelessness error. Thank you. KTNL, this was your first stream you were on. Lots of good discussions. Thanks. Good luck on the grind. Thank you, Sci-Fi, and glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I believe he has to be deeper reason behind balancing champs. I mean, Kabam can't be that stupid to bring us a shit idea. Again, first of all, don't underestimate one's ability to be stupid, or as they say. Second of all, it is perfectly plausible that that is all there is to it. That they want that in order to be able to experiment and play around more and be sure that they don't suffer the consequences. But at this point, I am too starting to not necessarily believe that that is the only reason, or that is the main reason. I think it could be, but at this point I think that it is very likely that there is an ulterior motive to the balancing system than we think, or how we assume. Because yeah, it is quite strange that they are that determined on something like that. You know what I mean? I do find it at this point already kind of weird. It's like when your friend offers you to do something and you say no, and then they try to talk you into it, you know, for months and bring it up like every other time. You know, initially you thought it was just kind of a random suggestion, but then you start thinking is like, what is up with that? There has to be a reason why he wants me to do that so badly. And it's similar situation here. It's like at this point just starting to get very, very suspicious. But yeah, 7.4 ought to be coming 16th of March, which is week after new content drop. Like 8 or 9 days after the update comes out in March. When one of your champs to play, how? Yeah. Well, I think in ideal world, what they hope it could work out is that they can effectively, with that balancing update, maximize eventually on the crystal sales in the long term, because then they would have the opportunity to sell the champion as it comes out, and if they release a bad one, they can buff it, release those crystals again, get another, you know, round of eyeballs looking at that champion, because YouTubers are going to be reviewing it and stuff like that. They're going to be releasing those same crystals again, and they could, you know, double down on their crystal sales on any champion that did not necessarily do as well as it could have done initially or something like that. And again, there are more reasons to it, but I like none of them. I like none of them. I think it's just a weakness of the company. I think any self-respecting company should be able to release a product they have tested and they are, you know, convinced in, and would not need entire player base beta test for them for 6 months. You know, I don't think it's normal. I don't think it's acceptable, and I'm not supporting it. Player should stop investing champs until they have been rebalanced. Yeah, you know, that is what a lot of people will do, for sure. That's a lot of people will do, without a doubt. Well, that is another one of the things that Kabam struggles with, because they have never really bothered to make a comprehensive interaction guide. They have never explained what ought to happen in what interactions. Like any other game that I have played has some sort of form of rule book. This should happen when you use this ability in these conditions, and that affects it, that doesn't, and stuff like that. And this game, nobody really knows what's intended and what's not. It's kind of like with that She-Hulk heavy attack thing, when they adjusted the heavy attack timing, because apparently you're not meant to be able to drop a heavy attack with any champion as a combo ender, you know, as a feature on it, safely anyways. But that was not stated anywhere, that you should or should not be able to. And we were led to believe that, you know, champions have different animation speeds for a reason, and if you have fast, it's kind of like this similar thing now with a lot of champions who can chain their heavy attack after their special attack. You know, like Tigra or whoever. There are plenty of champions who can do that, and plenty of champions who can't do that. There's absolutely nothing stopping Kabam right now making a post or making an announcement saying that you are not meant to be able to execute a heavy attack after your own special attack. And we're going to take that ability away from Tigra or, I don't know, Hulkbuster and a bunch more champions, you know? There's literally, that's exactly the same situation, where majority of the champions cannot do that. Some champions' animations allow you to do that, and they could change that. They could purposely extend the recovery time on that special attack in question, and they could purposely, you know, alter it so that no champions can chain their heavy attack after any of their specials. That's exactly the same situation as She-Hulk. And that is a problem. Nothing matters Kabam does, I think. All you playing dumb game because you're addicted to it. Addiction is definitely a part of it. Addiction plus sunk cost fallacy. Addiction, sunk cost fallacy, and the social aspects of it. It's not, again, but that's a very kind of gloom way to look at it. There are good things about this game, you know, whether you like to admit it or not. There are reasons why you still play besides the addiction. There are things that bring you joy, like despite how upset I am with many things that Kabam did, you know, last season in Alliance War, I rediscovered my kind of joy and enjoyment for the game at part because of it, because it worked better, it functioned better, it made me happy, it made me excited, it made me stressed, it made me anxious. It did what a good video game is supposed to do. So there are issues everywhere with everything. Nothing is perfect, and there is, you know, truth to the things what you are saying, but then you're ignoring the upsides and the positives of, you know, even you being on the stream, having these interactions, or a lot of people enjoying the people that they are with because of this game, and also the good things this game does. It's not like everything that Kabam does is bad. We tend to talk more about it, but, you know, we don't discuss how much we like, I don't know, certain characters' animations, or how happy we are about certain interactions in the game, and when new content pops, how much you enjoy it, stuff like that. None of that, you know, gets brought up nearly as much as, yeah, sucks. So I do think, it's important to kind of stand somewhere in the middle of that spectrum. You know, don't be grounded wisdom, don't be, you know, the CCP bunghole liquor kind of variety person. But don't be one of those people who say, doesn't matter, nothing matters, we're all addicted, you know, everything's gonna suck, they're just gonna ruin this for all. You know, there's truth somewhere in the middle of it. It's not black or white. If I hate someone, it's gonna be Cap Wilson for replacing OG Cap. Why do you hate him? Well, OG Cap just retired. Are you against people retiring? Are you against people retiring? Oh, just wants money. Agreed. Well, again, Kabam as a company, yes, the primary motivation is money. But again, you know, it's also true that in a lot of ways, in order to gain as much money, they are invested at times in areas in pleasing you the best they can, you know. If it's not gonna be a good game, if they don't release good piece of content, and if the game gets, like, you know, more boring and uninteresting, they're losing money because of it. Again, just like we discussed the balancing thing, where our interests do not align one bit, you know, just like we discussed gears and stuff like that, there are plenty of areas of this game where Kabam's interests do align with the player's interests. It is in Kabam's best interest to design 7.4 as, you know, exciting and fun as they can. It's in their best interest to, at large, keep player base, you know, as happy as they can, because then you are more willing to spend money, and then you increase your game time if you're having fun in the game, so on and so forth. So there are obviously things where we want vastly different things than Kabam does, but there are things and areas of the game where we want the same. Ultimately, you know, it's in both our and Kabam's best interest for this game to be as fun, as engaging, as exciting as it can be. So it's, yeah, it's not as straightforward and easy as that either. It's not as straightforward and easy as that. What's up, Bugman? How are you doing? What's up, Biswas? Always relaxing time joining your stream. Well, thank you, Biswas. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Someone just wants to reduce arena grinds and want people to buy crystals post adjustments. Well, not that actual. Well, again, I don't think that's true, because, you know, the basic arenas are a thing, and any new feature champion comes back in the arena again around the time balancing's done. How about bringing new cow crystals if there's a new title after Act 7 completion? 104. Those new cow crystals should not contain 3 stars. Maybe they will do that. Who knows what their plan is. I don't think they are planning on changing anything with the crystals, but maybe. What about Doom? Yash. What about Doom? Can Herc chain heavy after his special one? I don't think he can. Don't think he can. What's up, Hi? How are you doing? Bullshit Hulkbuster would lose a lot of value if he lost that part of him. Not only Hulkbuster, there would be several champions who would lose a lot of value if they did that. The background song is so peaceful. Thank you. The playlist is in the video description. The playlist of the background music is in the video description. Let's play a game. I'm gonna name champs and you're gonna rate them out of 10 of how abreast material they are. Sure, I guess. Children, today I'm going to tell the real meaning of addiction. Well, do tell us the real meaning of addiction. What's up, Alexa? And Doom, where it specifically says it's passive stun. Yeah, with Doom is different. With Wasp and America Chavez is different because those champions have a specific design to enable them to do that. MCOC because it's fun. Wasn't that do something else? Yeah, exactly. You know, with all the faults of something, it can still be fun. You know, love OG cap like Tony Stark can be replaced. You know, I do understand. I do understand what you mean. I will automatically, no matter what or who replaces Iron Man, I will automatically, you know, be critical of it because I think, you know, Iron Man has a special role. When you're addicted to games and your life is games and nothing else, you don't do anything else and you're lazy, you can't resist from playing games. Life's not outside the virtual world. Yeah, that sounds like an addiction. It sounds like, you know, you got a problem. It does sound like a real problem. However, you know, again, addiction to the video games is and can be a real issue, but quite often video games serve as an escape from your problems rather than the main focus of the problem itself. Most people who are seemingly addicted to video games are not necessarily addicted to the video games themselves. They're unable to face and deal with life the way it presents itself. So unlike most things that people get addicted to, video games don't have any, let's say, unique or otherwise overly specific chemical reason for you. And it's obviously still to do with the sense of satisfaction and dopamine and stuff like that, but that can be easily replaced with a ton of different activities, is what I'm trying to get to. It's not like you're getting some chemical in your body you can't get otherwise just as easy somewhere else. The problem is that you don't anywhere else. The problem is that there are things prohibiting you from that. So that's also a very interesting subject about addiction to video games, especially these days. But as far as I know, and the people that I have known either in my life or, you know, they have seen or read about, it's pretty much always more about issues in other areas of your life, whether it is your personal relationships or lack thereof, or your home life, or your self-esteem, or, you know, fear of society, or some anxiety problems, rather than the addiction itself that's causing it. You know, it's vastly different from an actual, I don't know, drug or cigarette addiction. But it is a good subject to talk about. I didn't say that it was bad, nor I'm being gloom about it. No one can see we're talking about it. You misunderstood my meaning. It's alright. My bad if I did. My bad if I did. It's just typically when the conversation steers in the area of Kabam can do whatever they want, you know, it's just really silly thing to say. Obviously, they can't do whatever they want. There are limits, you know, it has to stop somewhere. No matter how engaged you are in the game, you know, there are things Kabam would do and, you know, pretty much nobody would play. Again, if immediately Kabam would quadruple the price of the units, for instance, and quadruple the price of any crystals and things like that, and revives and energy refills. So basically, Odin now has 1,500 units, it costs $200, energy refill costs 60 units and you can grind for, you know, the same or less amount of units. Kabam did that, you know, you wouldn't play this game, I wouldn't play this game. So I don't necessarily think, okay, if I misunderstood you, that's fair. I apologize if I did misunderstand you. But when you say things that you should yourself realize that are utterly out there and are extremely outlandish takes, then, you know, it's hard not to jump to those conclusions. If you say Kabam can do whatever they want and we're still gonna play, that's, you know, absolutely incomprehensibly false. There are a shit ton of things Kabam would do to immediately destroy this game. And, you know, we each have a different line, we each have a different level of attachment to this game. But I don't think there's a single player alive that statement would be truthful for. Or Kabam can do whatever they want, you're still gonna play. No. There clearly are things that can't do. They wouldn't get away with. Drama going on? I hope not. I'm trying not. I'm trying to talk about, you know, issues that are brought up. I can understand there can be sensitive issues, but definitely not trying to get drama into drama territory. Guillotine 2099 as abyss material out of 10. In current levels 5, if you have rank 4 6-star or rank 5 6-star eventually, probably like 2 or higher, you'll find every possible way to find an electronic device to play a game, even if your parents have hidden it. That is, you know, a different problem. That is a completely different problem. Well, not different, not as common, I'd say. At least as far as I'm aware of. But that is a, you know, that is true problem as well, yes. But I still think that majority of that is largely to do with other issues, and the expression of that dependency of video games is a result of something else. For the most part. I still, like, you know, video game addiction is a problem, it's a thing, but I still do not personally view it exactly the same as it is with drugs or chemical substance, stuff like that. It's kind of like a behavioral addiction. Game is the only way I play. It's for simplicity and good graphics. Thanks, Jim family. Surfing to aim for balance. Well, there you go, perfect. Balance is very important, and as many things you can find it in life. A lot of people who think they are not addicted and they don't have time limit. Yeah, of course. Then you know, denial is always a part of it. Pulled anti-venom from 6-star featured. Is he worth rank 3 and duped? I would not rank 3 anti-venom when duped. I would not do that. I think Kabam should buff champs in accordance with release date. I kind of agree, to be honest. I think at this point I kind of agree. Graphics in the game visually looks stunning. You know, that I don't think many people do. The game definitely looks. The way this game looks is, you know, arguably the best aspect of it, or one of the best aspects of it. Let's start with this mode, you bastardo. You recommend ranking 5 stars after completing 7.3 and exploring 7.1? If I don't have many good 6-star champions. Again, I have to make a video on this because I keep answering the same question every stream these days, Nathan. So I personally believe that today, for majority of the summoners, there are 3 good reasons to rank up 5 stars. First good reason is if you get the rank up gem from a variant or something, you know, use that rank up gem. There's no real point in holding it, you know. That 5-star rank up gem is not gonna get more valuable over time. So that's reason number 1. If you just happen to have your like rank up gems and things, stuff like that, use them. The more time passes, the more you hold them, you know, the less value inherently they have. Second reason is if those champions do not exist as 6 stars, and it's unlikely that they will in near future. Like Quake, Magic, you know, Scarlet Witch, Wolverine, I think those are pretty much the only exclusives left. But those champions rank away. Why not? You know, they're not 6 stars anyways. And you know, having Quake, having Magic can be very, very important. And the third reason is, if you need that champion for something right now, if you are struggling with a piece of content or some specific fight or some specific game mode like AQ or whatever, for instance, you're struggling with AQ and King Groot would help you a ton, you know, because of his healing and everything else, and you know, he would be perfect for you in AQ. Rank him up. If you can benefit from that rank up right now, and if you're actually going to use it in meaningful forms of content, rank up a 5-star. Because as long as it saves you, you know, a couple hundred or 1,000 units or time and, you know, energy, you know, it's worth it. You know, you're going to get your catalyst worth back. Do not rank up 5 stars if you think that, oh, this is an awesome... and the fourth reason is for fun. You know, if you enjoy some champion, don't have a 6-star, I don't know. If you pull the 5-star Toad, you really like Toad, just rank him up. Have your fun, you know. This is a game after all. But other than that, you know, don't rank up champion like right now, for instance. You're going to get 5-star Captain America Sam Wilson. You haven't never played him. Some people like him, some people don't like him. You've only heard some things about him. And you think that he might potentially be useful for you eventually somewhere here, there, or somewhere. Don't rank him now. You know, if you really like the champion, test him out a bit. You know, if you really like him, again, go for it. But, you know, then realize what it is for. It's primarily a fun rank up. But if you do it just because somebody else says that the champion is good, or you think it might come in handy eventually, don't do it, because you can just do it later. You know, if you think it eventually might be helpful, then just rank up that champion eventually. Do you know a character has a long sword that can't be heavy chained in corner? I think so. No, that's not correct. That is not correct. Electric eels for electric. What were they're probably called eels, or electricity was discovered before those. I don't know, man. Issues troubling people because a lot of my friends thought they're trying to, but because of lag, they're wasting a lot of time. Yeah, the lag issues are definitely very troublesome, 100%. Your stream's keeping me in this game. Oh, thank you. Wish I get a job so I can donate to. It's alright. Don't worry about what ton. Just make sure you do well, and I'm glad that my streams are helping you, Kumar. I also wish you the best of luck in your job hunt. I think as many of us, I don't think that's a strange thing, but you know, wish you all the best. I genuinely do. I wish you success and happiness, and I'm glad that I have been able to, you know, be hopefully at least somewhat positive part of your life and be of use to, you know, help to entertain you or engage you. But yeah, man, thank you, Kumar. Is there an idea for Balganors? Tell me your views. So there is a separate section like ranked matches where you bet like 10 units and winner takes the units. I don't think anyone has moral implications, and no. I'd immediately say no, because that is wealth transfer that Kabam cannot allow, or should not allow, I should say, because that would... You understand why gifting event is such a big problem? Fundamentally, Yash, when you break it down, gifting event is a problem because you can transfer value from one account to another. And that's why there's so much cheating, because there's a lot to be gained, and you have the ability to transfer resources and value from one account to another. And 2 weeks in a year, you know, that causes such a massive consequence. Having that permanently back in the game would only explode that. So no, something like that can never happen directly in the game. As the most brutal, simple example would be, there would be absolutely nothing stopping me from creating an account, you know, completing act, earning 1,000, 2,000 units on my baby account, perhaps buying the $5 offer where I get 735 units, you know, throughout the month. And then just purposely matching my main account and giving all of those units to my main account by losing on purpose. You understand? You know, as soon as you introduce any type of value transfer from one account to another, you need to understand what kind of unscrupulous people could potentially take advantage of it. That's why there can never be champion trades in between accounts and things like that. There's always a way how to abuse it. So yeah, no. The idea where you bet units and, you know, winner takes them all. As long as you can choose who you fight against, it should never happen. It will never happen. If it's random, I think if units are part of a reward, for instance, then that could work. That could even offset the energy cost. For instance, if you have to use 30 energy to do a ranked match, but the winner of that ranked match earns an energy refill, I think that can work. Or if the winner of that match earns 15 units and the loser of that match earns like 5 units or no units, then that can work, because there is no way how to purposely match your alt accounts and things like that. And that could also eliminate the cost of getting the match. Like if you win 2 matches, you get 30 units and you can buy an energy refill. You know what I mean? So it means that energy cost is theoretically offset, and that's not a problem anymore. If you can win 30 units in 2 matches and you have to use basically an energy refill to play those 2 matches, then as long as you keep winning, you can either break even or even be slightly making units or whatever by playing the game mode, and that would work. Just saying. Which champs apply slow, except She-Hulk, Spidey, Stealth Suit, and Spider-Gwen. Shang-Chi applies slow, Dragon Man applies slow, Silver Centurion applies slow, Yellow Jacket applies slow, Spider-Man 2099 applies slow, Sorcerer Supreme applies slow, who else? Like, and there is so many, man. Slow is a very common ability these days. Maybe not very common, but a lot of champions have access to slow. A lot of champions have access to slow. Think is the best material out of 10? I do not think is the best material at all. I don't know, 2, 3, maybe. Games addiction? We did a bit, yes. There's something wrong? Yes, there has been many things wrong with the game. If you can't block or parry right now, then these issues have been affecting quite a lot of people for a while. Next month we are expecting a fix on it. But yeah, no need to be rude. Get along, people. What's up, Gypsy Bastard? How are you doing? How Cosmic Awakening Gem? Do I use it on Null or Icarus? I think Null probably is where I would give it to, or I would save it. I wouldn't rush to use it. If it's a 6-star gem, I wouldn't rush to use it on either one of them. If it's a 5-star gem, whichever one you want. Whichever one you want to have some fun with. So you know, okay. Listen, dude, I just asked a question. Okay, you both guys calm down, or I'll calm it down for you. You need to recommend a 5-star to make it fast. Best of luck to you. Cool. No worries. You're welcome, Nathan. Also, can't call a person rude for an answer. Did you watch another YouTube open source 6-star feature crystals reading over? Yeah, I know. I saw that video too. Buff max sig crystals. Well, the thing is, historically and traditionally, you only get something for max sig champions if, you know, there is that set of shards in the game. Like, you know, 4-star max sig crystals give 5-star shards, 5-star ones give 6-star shards, but there are no 7-star shards. That's the reason why right now, currently in the game, one of the worst things that can happen to you is opening a max sig 6-star, and I do agree that at this point it's becoming increasingly larger problem, and Kabam do need to address it and put some value in it. Ridgeman getting increasingly frustrated with Kabam MCOC over the last year. Very sad. It's not just Ridgeman, it's also Brian and, you know, several other people. But there are still plenty of people who put on a fake smile and pretend everything is well. On stream and hearing that. Again, both of you, Mr. Surama and Devansh, go to your separate corners, leave each other alone, and I don't want to hear any bickering from either one of you at all. If you have something specific you want to discuss, you can find each other online app or whatever other messenger or opportunity to communicate you guys can figure out, but I do not want you to fucking up my stream and my chat because you had some sort of disagreement. Can't get along with it nicely and just, you know, agree to disagree, then I will help you do that. This is not a place where, you know, you're encouraged to arrive and just fill the chat with personal squabble about something relatively meaningless to majority of the people in the chat other than you two. So here's the thing. Next time I see either one of you address message to each other, both of you are getting 5-minute timeouts. I don't care if you're not the one who sent that message. Someone that has never used Falcon just recently got him. Is there rotation you prefer him, and does he need to be awakened? It's just the standard level 1, level 2. Does he need to be awakened? It's kind of like Corvus. He can do a ton of things unawakened, and he can do many more things awakened. You know what I mean, Slinger? That's like with same thing with Kirk, if not more. If he's awakened, he gets a whole new bag of tricks. If he's unawakened, you know, he can still do a ton of cool things, do a lot of damage and stuff like that. And his standard rotation is basically level 1, level 2. Ideally, both special attacks intercepted, and you get triple buffs. Give me a second to some of these streams. Question: who will be my next rank 4? Currently, I'm not committing to it, but my next rank 4 currently is scheduled to be Nimrod. Next rank 4 currently is scheduled to be Nimrod. I think he's the front runner anyways. He's like 6th highest in prestige. I really like him. I have been using him a ton, and I think he's awesome. And even if people start banning him on attack, I can still put him on defense and get some decent value out of him. And I think he's going to be awesome for a ton of content. Team right now is 4-star rank 5 Black Widow Clairvoyant. Out star 5.2. Best of luck. Best of luck. I'm sure you can do it. Sure you can do it. Ranked versus unranked matches. Well, we do not know the details of how ranked versus unranked matches are exactly going to work though. And details are important. Details matter a lot. There will be drama. Oh, there will of course be drama. Of course there will be drama. And problems. And, you know, none of that is avoidable. Always happens. But it's again the same things like, you know, you don't make mistakes only if you don't do anything. And, you know, as hard as it is to admit, you know, same thing goes for companies and Kabam, you know, and errors, you know, need to be judged fully, not just by what happened, but when it happened, by who it happened, how it happened, why it happened, and, you know, what the implications are, stuff like that. But, you know, obviously there are going to be mistakes, some of whom probably could be avoided. Some errors and issues will come that nobody had ever thought would be an issue. You know what I mean? Everybody has 20/20 hindsight, but when it comes to actually creating, organizing, and launching, and making sure everything goes smoothly, you know, it's always a lot harder than it happens. There will be problems, 100%. But just give you rewards unranked, give you nothing but bragging rights. The Street Fighter, yeah, you know, unranked matches hopefully are a part of the battlegrounds as well. Yes. Hawkeye plan slow. There you go. Hawkeye plan slow. No PvP works that way. Point of PvP is to make you an addict. Adding entry barrier. Yeah, adding entry barrier is stupid. I genuinely don't understand why there are so many barriers of entry in that game mode. really do not understand. It you know, reasonably makes no sense to me. As in, like, I can come up with an argument for them or reasons why Kabam thought it would be a good idea, but again, I disagree with all of that. You open a 5-star Mystic Science duel? Yeah, go for it. Go for it then, hi. Open it up, let us know what you got. Open it up, let us know what you got. I am calm, stop 2. Very good. What's up, Eric? You guys are great, thank you. Well, oh, aren't you a sweetie pie? I would like to apologize if I ruined someone's experience. Well, you genuinely did. You two did kind of bum me out, you know, because, you know, I love when people debate and discuss, but when it just devolves in kind of like bitching and smartassery, and it carries on about kind of like personal thing, you know, it gets annoying. And it does get annoying, and then I need to skim through all of those messages, pretend that I didn't read them in order not to get even more annoyed, and it just makes the stream harder, creepier, definitely more frustrating. That's why, you know, I do want this to be like a cool place where people can talk, chat, have fun, discuss, debate, but at the same time, you know, you need to realize that if you write something in the chat, then I will deal with it, because I do read every message that's written there, or at least try to read every message that's written there, and, you know, keep the stream active, involved. I try to reply to all of the questions that are directed at me and stuff like that. And at the same time, I do need to make sure that, you know, the stream is under control, that nobody's getting like bullied or harassed and stuff like that. And at that point, it becomes less enjoyable to stream, because you feel a lot less like content creator. You feel more like a babysitter or a nanny, because you're digging through some other people's argument, even if you don't particularly care for it, and you need to be careful that you don't miss any lines that could be crossed and stuff like that. And it's not the end of the world. It's not like I'm saying anybody is a horrible human being for having a fight online with somebody. Like, I have had arguments on other people's streams and stuff like that. It's none of what I'm trying to say. It's just there are reasons why I personally, you know, can get agitated when people do that. But it's all good, you know. I think Kabam has the data of the total amount of 6-star do/pull, and they go, yeah, well, they probably do. They probably do have the data of that, yes. What's up, Jayan? How are you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? Best 3k units I have spent was gem for her. Yeah, those definitely are very well invested units. 100% agree. I actually didn't get that gem. I didn't get that gem because there are only 3 champions that I could potentially use that gem on, none of whom I currently have. I could use that gem on Iceman, Icarus, or Medusa. Oh, and She-Hulk, but you know. So 4 champions that I could have used that gem on. So I decided to pass on it. You know, I thought maybe, you know, getting it, but then I realized, you know, there's a decent chance I'm not even gonna get Icarus or Medusa for quite a while, and then I realized even if I do, there's still a decent chance I'm not gonna be willing to take those champions to rank 3 immediately, especially with Battlegrounds coming, because I might have some different priorities and stuff like that. And then I feel like a right proper idiot if I got the gem, got the Icarus eventually, realized that I can't or don't want to rank up Icarus immediately, and imagine duping Icarus by the time I'm kind of ready to rank him up or something like that. So yeah, no, I figured I'm gonna pass on that gem. Was that fun fighting? I did get the rank up gem though. Don't you want to wait for a Mega Sentinel? For tech? No, I will. You know, I didn't say that I will immediately rank for Nimrod as soon as I get the gem. And I don't even know whether Omega Sentinel is going to be in the game before we can do 7.4 or not, you know, because 7.4 is going to come on like 16th of March, and there's a chance that Omega Sentinel is going to be out by then. So, you know, yeah, I will take a look at what Omega Sentinel can do and who she is. And then I'll see what I want to do for sure. I also never said that I am ranking up Nimrod. I said that currently I think my frontrunner, kind of top option, is Nimrod. But that's still subject to change. I might change my mind, or I might talk with White Mummy. Maybe there is something that would tremendously help our alliance as an offensive or defensive rank up, and that I would be open to ranking as well. Or, you know, I might just discover some new like for a different champion or something, you know. Still time. There's still nearly a month till the rank up has, well, till we have the ability to rank, and we don't have to rank immediately as we get the gem either. By the way, I also unlocked Willpower rank 2 with the Mastery Core pack. I knew it's good time. Nice, very good, very good. And yeah, that Mastery Core pack is definitely a very good pickup if you still are setting up your masteries and stuff. Very good value. Apologize, I will not repeat it. It's alright, don't worry. You don't need to be like too harsh on yourself. Again, you're a young 18-year-old guy, you know. You're gonna do stupid shit. And you don't need to try and, you know, swear, I'll never do it again. It's like, yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. You know, when you're 18, chances are you're still gonna do most of the stupid shit when you're 19, and when you're 20, and when you're 21, and when you're 22. Even if you don't want to, you know. It's kind of like, I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend. I try to be as good boyfriend as I can. And, you know, I have, you know, sometimes when I get an argument, you know, I yell at my girlfriend. I don't like yelling at my girlfriend. You know, I try not to. It's something that I don't want to do. I never wake up with the thought, you know, oh, I'm gonna yell at her today or something. But, you know, it happens. It's something, you know, I still do occasionally. It's, you know, a weakness of mine, if you will, or it's just how humans are. But you do things you're not particularly happy or proud of in situations. Because you don't live in a bubble. You're not a robot. You know? It's like, thank God I have never given my girlfriend my word that I will never, you know, shout at her, something like that. My word would be meaningless. Because, you know, she can give it very nice to me. You know, she can get under my skin, and she sometimes shout at me, I shout at her. That's relationship. So don't promise things you can't necessarily deliver on, Devanch. I think that is the more important thing. You guys are really great. Handle it as man. Often see such debate and carnage. Thanks, Eric. And yeah, that is something that, you know, I really do try to pass on as many people as I can. And as I said before, you know, there are times when I myself, you know, get engaged when I shouldn't, and escalate situations when I shouldn't, and stuff like that. But at large, those are some of the values that I personally believe in, and I think more people should. That's also the reason why I made the second channel. What's up, khun? How are you doing? I got Symbiote Supreme. I think he's underrated. Yeah, Symbiote Supreme is quite good. And maybe at this point he's slightly underrated. There was a point in the game when Symbiote Supreme was considered to be like the top Mystic champion, or one of the 2 best Mystic champions. But yeah, Symbiote Supreme is quite decent. Can merge with Kabam. Do you think MCOC will go with MFF Brute? 6-star is Max Stylo. I don't know. I don't think that necessarily... I don't think this merger has necessarily anything to do with the max level specific, you know, specific kind of things and stuff like that. I don't know enough behind the reason of the merger or the actual implications of it. What does this merger mean for day-to-day in Kabam office, for instance, and stuff like that, to kind of actively comment. Without that, it's very hard to jump to conclusions. Burgers, you need gears level plus rank up the gears, then upgrade them. It could be that. It could be that. Or it could have been always the plan and this merger has nothing to do. Or the game can go in a completely different direction. You know, the fact is we don't know. And I personally don't have enough of a clear view of the situation in Kabam offices. To kind of like actively comment on it. That's why I also didn't make a video. Okay, so that merger that happened, but I don't know what it means, like really what it means. From special 3 to special 2. Yeah, if you have like Mystic Dispersion or Power Boost, then Symbiote Supreme can do some crazy things. A couple of years ago, he was such a YouTuber favorite character, so to speak, and people favorite character. Also passed on that gem because I didn't have anyone who I would use it on immediately. Yeah, I also passed that gem because of it. I did get the rank up gem though, because I do have several champions I could use it on, like She-Hulk or Icarus in future, or I can rank up Spider-Gwen or maybe Vision for solo mode. So I do have several good rank up targets. So I picked up the rank up gem, but I didn't pick the awakening gem. So it means I get a free pass. No, you don't get a free pass. If anything, you know, what I'm trying to tell you is, you know, accept that you are wrong. Be sorry, that's fine, but don't try to pretend that, you know, it's never gonna happen and stuff like that. Don't promise the things you can't deliver on. You can say that I'll try to make sure it doesn't happen again, you know, because that can be true. You can generally try your best. You can't promise it will not happen. It means that words matter and language matters, and what you say exactly can be altered drastically with small variations of your sentence. Yeah, but get me? But no, you by no means get a free pass for your future indiscretions. Ooh, this guy is tanky. Here we go. We got the second shock, so we can do more damage. It didn't have Mystic Dispersion and Power Boost. He still went from special 3 to special 3. That is also possible if opponent has a lot of buffs. If you do nullify, like if you do stagger a lot of buffs. But most of the time you do want Mystic Dispersion or Mystic Dispersion or Power Boost. I will try not to be rash, immature, male teen. But that's who you are, you idiot. You are rash, young teenager, you know. Whether you like it or not. And obviously there are things that you can work on and stuff like that, but why try not to be who you are? You can be more mindful of the things that you say. You can be more mindful of, you know, things you let other people know. Because it's not like this is your first instinct. It's not like this is like, I don't know, eye roll that you sometimes can't control. And here online, you actually need to make a decision what to say. You need to type it in, you need to hit send, stuff like that. It means you make a considered, deliberate decision to react or comment on something. You have all of the advantages of, you know, the buffer time of thinking what you write online. You know, that's not the bonus feature in real life. So in real life, it's even harder. But in here, you know, you can be whoever you want to be, but you get the benefit of not hindsight, but you know, you get the benefit of cooldown period, whether you want to do and say what you're trying to do and say. And you are a teenager, you know, that's fine. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to try and, you know, over time, slowly, you know, mature and grow into person who you want to be. Friend is Conqueror and I am Conqueror as well. Just became uncollected and I advised him, so I feel happy. Nice, very good, hi, very good, very good. That's how it's gonna work, and you know, best of luck to you as well, and congratulations on becoming uncollected. Would you use generic 6-star awakening gem, Kitty Pride? Well, it would be hypocritical from me to say no, because I did. I did give Kitty Pryde my generic 6-star awakening gem. So the answer to the question, would you use generic 6-star awakening gem on Kitty Pryde, would be that yes, I already did. So this is not just a speculation anymore. This is not kind of opinion. This is a factual answer. You can go back and check. There is a video footage, confirmed, truthful statement. I used my generic 6-star awakening gem on Kitty Pryde. I ranked up my Sim Supreme due to hype, never found use for him. Yeah, I never ranked up my Sim Supreme, because I never really liked him. The way he feels to play without, you know, the perfect kind of scenario type, I just didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy the way he gains power in a fight. And especially back then, I didn't enjoy the thought that, you know, he would always work then and stuff. He's just one of those champions I never kind of like got into too much. Kind of like starting against Spider-Man. Good 5-star Kitty Pryde. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. So here we are. Still going hard. Well, I'm still going. I don't know if it can be characterized as hard, but definitely not limp. Still definitely not flaccid. There's some movement. There's some power to the pace. But yeah, I'm trying to run through all my 5-stars. Quite a lot of them. See you all next stream. See you all later. See you all later. See you next stream. But yeah, I will have to finish the stream in a moment, because even though I still have some 5-stars to grind, and luckily I think I have all my 5-stars but one at rank 3 now. I think I have all my 5-stars but Gamora that I picked up in last round of Arena at rank 3. So that's quite helpful, because I can actually use like all my 5-stars and I don't need to mix match the teams and stuff like that. Because yeah, except Gamora, I have all of my champs at least rank 3 level. You're the last person I think will give up without a fight. That's probably quite truthful, because I'm also fairly selective in which fights I pick up. I think, you know, having a decent ability to decide whether something's worth fighting for. And, you know, only, yeah. Thank you, Ren. How many points are you aiming for? Well, the cutoff round 1 was like 175, so I'm gonna try and get above that. See you later, damage. And again, don't feel bad, you know, don't feel too bad. Is what I'm trying to say. It's like, you didn't make anybody proud, but, you know, nobody thinks otherwise of you after this stream, if that makes sense. It should make sense, I think. Yeah. You didn't do anything to be proud of, but you didn't necessarily ruin your public opinion either. And man, yeah, I understand that. Thank you, man. It's a very nice thing to say. Actually, you know, what's the best way to explain it? I think I needed something like that. I needed to hear something like that, so I appreciate it. Oh, come on. You witch. But are all the mods gone? I don't know. All of them abandoned me. All of them abandoned me. Looks like we're gonna have to make you mod again soon. Oh, am I still lurking? Am I still lurking? You're only at 20 million currently? Well, I'm slightly ahead of 20 mil. Who, like, you're grinding for a 6-star or 5-star? Because if you're grinding for a 6-star, 20 mil, I would say Ouch, 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 ouch. I'd say that's some dodgy thing there. Ooh, she's incinerated me, and I should not have done this. I should not have done this. Oh crap, she nullified one of those. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, dude. It's funny. You know what? You know why it's funny, Mr. Dubay? It actually generally chuckles me. That's like at least 8% of the benefit of having Rin and JJ around here is that everybody thinks, you know, automatically assumes that they are dudes, and they're not. And it sorry, bro. They're not bros. It's like, they're not bros. And then yeah, automatically everybody automatically assumes that they're a guy, and I don't know. There's something that there's something from that misconception that just brings joy to the world, or joy to me. And the funny thing is, because you know, yeah, there aren't like that many girls watching my channel, but you just happen to hit the comment, like the two of them direct. Trying to get the last Abyss path done this weekend. All best of luck. Should be excited. Still haven't figured out what class I'll choose for 100% crystal. Well, what are your best options? But yeah, you know, there are a few more ladies that do watch the channel, but I don't know, it always gets a chuckle out of me when somebody calls, you know, JJ a bro or something like that. Like, ah, poor bastard has no idea. He's not a dude, you're a dude. Oh, my girlfriend absolutely loves that scene from Infinity War. She absolutely freaking loves it. I have caught her watching that specific scene at least a dozen times. Love your channel? Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Dexter? Nice of you to show up finally when I'm about to finish the stream. How many 5 stars I have left? There's still a bunch. There's not that much. But yeah, I'm gonna finish that after the stream. Do you still think Abyss is still fully worth exploring? Yes. But I don't think it's worth doing as, you know, a point of urgency. I think it's, you know, 100% definitely do Act 7, all of it before that. Do most of Karina challenges before Abyss, you know, stuff like that. I do think Abyss is worth doing, but after initial completion, the remainder of the paths should come pretty much just before Act 6 and maybe the stupidest Korean challenges. You know what I mean? Because there is a generic 6-star Awakening gem that holds a lot of value. There's that awesome crystal, you know, still fair. Tier 5 CC, you know, has never meant less, but there's still decent amount of 6 stones and stuff like that. So no matter how you look at it, you know, there's still value, decent value in those Abyss rewards. Just that some of the things are not as valuable anymore, like tier 5 CCs, for instance. Tier 5 CCs are, I don't know, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times less valuable than they were at the time Abyss came out. 6-star Awakening gem, on the other hand, you know, hasn't lost much of its value. That 10 Nexus Crystal hasn't lost much of its value. 6-star 6 stones, you know, have maintained their value. So yeah, I do think Abyss is worth doing. I just don't think Abyss is worth rushing now. I think definitely do Act 7 before Abyss. Definitely, I don't know, explore the last 4 variants or something like that, maybe. I don't know. Even though variants, you know, don't have much to offer there. I went to bed 3 hours ago, so you can say that. Ooh. Why do you sleep so little? Why don't you sleep more? Why don't you sleep more? Anyhow, I have to say huge thank you to JFam. Absolute pleasure to have them as the patriarchs of this channel. I don't know where I would be in life without those two, and I mean it. They're absolutely amazing people. Also, huge thank you to Chala, and huge thank you to Messiah and Eric Nelson and everybody else, in case I missed someone. And then also, obviously, all of you. You guys are awesome. You guys make all of this possible. And I'm very fortunate that you guys find my voice tolerable, my personality not repulsive, and in general, subject yourselves to my streams. Thank you. And I'll see you later, because I'll be back grinding. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next month.
I'm in danger!